Hello and welcome to ARK, the complete series. In the last episode, I set out to go and get myself a pteranodon because the plan was I wanted to go out in search of metal. And yeah, there was quite a few pteranodons in the area, but they were all low level, so I cleared those out and well, I just couldn't find any. After a while, I just gave up and went on a hunt for other dinos, ones I could use for the imprinting kibbles. So as luck would have it, this level 85 decided to suddenly turn up. I think it was the one I'd seen earlier in the video actually, but it turned up outside the base and great, we ended up with a Pteranodon after all, so we managed to find out where we can get our metal from now. And I kind of left it at that. I started gathering some more dinos off camera, signed out, came back on, and something went wrong at some point. I mean, I've got all these new dinos here, but when I came on, I mean, all my trikes were all lined up, my turtles were all lined up, but as you can see, they've kind of like spun around a bit, so there must have been something got inside of the walls again and started attacking, and that's really got me bothered. So what I'm going to do, I mean, instead of like the original plan, which was just to keep carrying on getting some of these dinos we've already been, taming on camera, I'm going to end up expanding this base out a bit, putting in a proper structure that I can house things in, because I'm really bothered about the low level ones. I'm just concerned if anything, high level gets in here, it might kill them all off. I mean, I've already had to replace all the dillos, and I wasn't too chuffed of having to do that. I lost a parasaur beforehand, so yeah, I think I'm just going to play it safe, get myself a decent air building to keep all these in, and then I'll go back to, basically taming more dinos. But in terms of the actual dinos I've been getting, I mean, I managed to find myself quite a nice looking. She's a female pteranodon up there. She's got the event colours, and I've got quite a few of these parasaurs as well that have got the event colours. I've got one dillo with the event colours. There's the turtles that we've got here. There's only one of them didn't have event colours. The raptor. This one, this one a real pain in the neck. It was I'd managed to find a tech parasaur that was event colours, but this raptor suddenly decided it was interested in it and mauled it before I could get back in time. So I got to bowl her out and tame this thing up instead. And as for the trikes, what I did with them, I mean, I had a level 18 male of this colour, and I decided to breed it up with the female. This is a 140 female we tamed. I bred those, and the idea was I wanted to get some high level trikes just to play it safe. And I'm glad I did by the looks of it. It was probably paid off. So now we've got a level 208 male. We've got a couple of high-level females. I think one of the females, she's 208. The other one's 157. But somewhere along the line, before I even got to this one here, I ended up with this wonderful coloured one. And I'm really going to keep these ones here. You'll probably notice over there, there's two identical ones over there. They're both level 208. They're the same as this colour here. So it's obviously it's taken the red from the male, and it's held onto the black from the female, and I really like these colours. It's nice blends. It's still got like the red, like little veins, if you will, going through the armour plate in there, but I like that. It's a really nice colour. I mean, I was going to keep on breeding them. I mean, in this particular area, what I'm finding, as soon as that egg hits the floor, it starts to hatch, so it's quite warm in this area. I mean, it's, you're into the evening now, it's about 20 odd degrees, but I don't have much trouble. If I've done some breeding at night, then I've had to use some torches to warm the place up. But I don't know, I mean, I'm going to have to take another look at the breeding settings. There's something wrong. It's out of sync, so I'm not able to even try to imprint them at all. I mean, I won't get very far, to be fair, because I don't have all the imprinting kibble anyway. Murphy's Law, it'll ask for some kibble that I don't have. But the plan was to get myself a decent trike and use that in place of Terry, but until I get these breeding settings fixed, I'm just going to leave those two as is. But one thing I've done is, you might notice Terry's changed quite a bit, because while I was doing the breeding, you get things like chocolates. You can sometimes get the egg as well as some chocolates here. If you give them a chocolate, it gives them full health. But you also get the coloured candy, a bit like you get in the Christmas event we had not too long ago. And as well as giving them colour, I've noticed, I didn't notice originally, but they give you like extra movement speed. So Terry here, he's got extra movement speed. Now he hasn't got much on him. And I'm just going to put these eggs away. Because... Did somebody drop an egg round here? Oh, you did. Good, good, good. Just put that away as well. We're going to go out and start gathering a lot of wood then. Because I'm going to need a lot. I'm going to need a lot of wood, a lot of thatch, a lot of fibre. Fortunately, I've now got, or at least I did have, I've got a sickle in here, so I can use that. I'm having to keep most of my things in here because of that pteranodon doesn't have much in the way of weight. It can't handle much weight. So that, yeah, I can't really carry much when I'm using it. I'm just going to do a quick quick check just to make sure there's no more eggs, and then we're gonna go out and about, and I'll pause the video because there's no point watching me just gathering resources again. So I shall pause the video there, and then I shall bring you back. Well, I've brought you back to this point where I've put in all the wooden floor foundations. So I've set it up as 8x8, which seems okay for now. I mean, it's enough for me to be able to fit the trikes, then the turtles, and then the parasaurs. I mean, I've dragged in the dillos, Phyllis, and the raptor over there just as like a temporary measure, because I mean, basically I'll have like 2 floors. You'll have the ground floor, which will be bigger dinos. Then up on the top floor I'll have all the little ones. I mean, there's quite a lot you need. I mean, I'm just looking at the list, and there's about it's about 14 different types of dinos that you actually need to gather. I think I better get that egg actually just before it decomposes. But I've got a reasonable amount of room to get in. So I can what I tend to do is I leave the male over in the corner, because I mean, don't really expect him to be dropping any eggs, to be honest. So I really could do with the saddles for all of these, but I don't have enough engram points to be able to do it. So I've got saddles for the parasaurs, so they were easy enough to fit in. Same with the trikes. The turtles, I've just put them on, you know, the follow distance is low, just so that I can kind of like steer them in a bit. But I've got a reasonable amount of room to begin with anyway. So as I say, I mean, this is like an 8x8, and it'll do for now. So the idea is any new dinos I would bring in through here, and then I would I'll have a ramp at the back that takes me up to the next floor. So that's where the little ones will go, and then I'll have another the roof at the top is where I'll keep things like pteranodons and Argentavis, for instance. The RGs, I don't need RG eggs, but I would at least need to keep some for, like, I like to keep the flies around there. But I do need the pteranodons for their eggs. So what I'm going to do next then is I need to go back out, get more wood, more thatch, more fibre, finish off the walling down here. I've got quite a lot of spare walls actually from all the ones I've picked up, but I'm going to have to go back out and... Oh, sorry, yeah, I've used them all up, that's probably why. I've got quite a few fence supports because I've picked all those up. I'm going to have to widen the fence out because I want a really good gap between this building and the outside world, because I don't want... I mean, if say like a raptor suddenly came along here, it could literally like stick its nose through the wall. Be even worse if it was a Carno. So the plan is to basically extend this wall out. I want a gap of about 4 again, just seems a reasonable gap, because that way nothing can at least, you know, get through the actual... Even if they can like stick its head through the wall, it wouldn't be able to get into the actual base itself. So I'm going to widen out the wall at the front and at the side. Looks a bit weird. I mean, the good thing I liked about with this one, with the foundations, is that the wall and the door line up. The only thing was trying to get it to snap. I've had to put in some fence foundations down there, so that way I could get the door frame to actually snap to there. So I'm just going to pause the video and finish off this building, and then I'll bring you back. Well, we're making some good progress now. I've got all of my fence foundations in for the outer wall. I mean, these parts here, all those wooden walls and the gate, all the way, everything right up to about here, I can just bring it forward. So it means I'll need to get enough wood to be able to put some fences in down on that side there. I've left a gap for the actual gate there. This is where the building starts, so it means I'll have to get walls to be able to fill in all of this part here. All the way around here until we get up to here, which is where the fence comes out. So it's from about here. I can bring these walls forward, and then it's a case of getting some more wood to make the fences for there. I mean, I am quite tempted to go out and get myself one of those castoroides, the little beavers, because that would make it a lot easier to get wood. But the trouble is, it's I was having a look. You need something like 140 cementing paste. There's 100 metal ingots, which I mean, it's probably doable. I can go down there. I mean, the trouble is with the pteranodon that I've got, he's not really practical to go all the way backwards and forwards to make a lot. But I really need a better pteranodon to be able to get into the metal, you know, to start making metal over there, which is a bit of a pain really. But in terms of this building anyway, I mean, it's only one level at the moment, which will do for now, because I've been able to fit everything inside so far. The plan would be to have a ramp that comes up here, takes you up to the first floor, then the little dinos can stay up there, the bigger ones will be down on the ground floor, and then I'd have another like roof on top of that, which is where I'll be putting the flyers. I mean, the good thing is it's easy, you know, because it's just a square shape, it's easy enough to extend it out. I mean, there's a bit of light coming through the windows, so it's fairly light, but I could do with probably putting some torches in for the to give me some light during the night time. But I'm just going to pause the video there, and I'm going to get back to gathering up my wood. Okay then, so we've finally managed to extend the base out, so the wall's been pushed out further away in the front and to the sides, so we've got pretty much just a square box there. I'll just get rid of all that because it's a bit clutter, all those names. So we've got ourselves pretty much just a straight box here that we can keep all our dinos in. Everything is on passive, except for those 3 trikes down there. I want them on neutral just on the off chance something does come into base, they'll be able to defend themselves. Everything else is inside and on passive, and then that way they don't get moved out of position. When I sign off, for now I'm just going to basically park these 2, leave these 2 on the roof. I think they should be okay. But I do want to add an extra level to that building so I can put the smaller dinos on that first floor, keep the pteranodons on the roof. So in terms of where we go next then, I mean, I've been putting a bit of stamina and a bit of weight into this dude, so he's not doing too bad. But I mean, you can see, I mean, I can carry like a forge, for instance. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, I'm going to have to go out and get some more wood and craft up some things like the smithy and so on. Build myself a little base up on the hill where all that metal is, because for now I'm just going to be using the pick or the axe to go out and gather resources. I mean, I've got a metal pick, so I should be able to get quite a bit of metal from up there, and I can use the hatchet to get quite a bit of wood. But I am quite keen to go out and I mean, before I start expanding this place, I mean, I feel a lot safer now all the dinos are inside there. But to expand the base even further, I think what I will do is, once I've got that base up there built, and I've got our metal forges going away. I'm quite tempted to come and get one of these little beavers. There's only 3 of them at the moment over here. There's that one down there. There's two that have got a white stripe. One's a 60. One's a 15. And then there's that one with a little orange stripe. Now that one, he's a level 75. I'm just going to have to be careful because I know there's a sargo in the area. There's a titana boar over there. There's could be capros in the area. So I think what I would do is, I mean, they're pretty vicious beavers. I mean, they look relatively harmless, but they're pretty vicious, quite frankly. So I think what I'm tempted to do is I'll build myself a little trap over here, and then I'll just basically run it up the ramp and get it, you know, so that it gets stuck inside. But I've now learned how to make darts, so what I'll do is I'll be cooking up quite a bit of metal up there, and creating as many darts as I can get as well. And it's just going to be pretty much a slow process of having to tame that up. It's only level 75, so it's not, you know, it's not a real big deal of getting, you know, 100% taming effectiveness anyway. I mean, if I wanted to do that, I'd have to get some Gallimimus kibble, but I haven't seen any around in the area. So I'll just use vegetables to tame it up. I might have to keep the torpor high using the narcotics, but it's just going to be a bit of a slow process. And the trouble is, once I aggro one of those, I'll probably aggro all 3 of them. But it's easy enough done anyway with you know, once you put a trap there. So it's getting dark, so I'm just gonna basically just park myself over here for the night. And then what I'll do is, assuming I can get off this thing, what I'll then do is, once I've got that base going, I'll bring you back. Okay then, so I've put together a very basic base. I mean, I've just put some stone foundations down, and I had to use up quite a few just to be able to like keep things level. We've got ourselves a smithy, some mortar and pestles. I want those because I want to be able to start doing the bullets a lot more frequently. I mean, I'm going to need a lot of sort of like charcoal, and I'll get that from, you know, from the metal that I'll be converting in the forges anyway, as long as I keep putting lots of wood in there to keep it fed. Should be able to get plenty of charcoal. But I'm not bothering with walls, doors, or any of that fancy stuff just yet. I probably will later on though, because I'll want to keep an ankle over here. But it's a bit early days to be getting one of those, because it'll be way over there, and it'll be a case of, I mean, I don't have anything like a Quetzal to be able to drag something like that over here, or at least fly it over. You could walk it back, but it's I'd have to be really careful as to what we run into. But anyway, the plan now is I want to go and tame a beaver to make things a heck of a lot easier for getting wood. So what I'm going to do is I want to focus on the metal for now, so that I can get a lot of darts, because we've learned how to make darts. That'll be easier and quicker to basically bring one of those down. I've got the pieces to make a little trap, but this dude here, he's struggling to carry much, so I'm going to have to do it in like a few runs. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video. We're going to go off and basically harvest up all of the metal in this area. I'll keep all the stone in the box there. I may as well hold on to that, because I'll be needing that later on anyway. The next thing is then I'll bring you back once we're ready to go and tame this beaver. Well, we've managed to get the trap built. I've just parked the Pteranodon over there for now. There's absolutely no sign of this level 75 beaver, so I think I'm just going to probably make do with his level 60. So I'm going to see if I can have a game of tag with it and drag it into the trap from here. I'm going to have to be really careful, because there was a load of Troodons around here. Then we've got quite a few Therazinos. Ow, 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 ow. Yes, there was quite a few Therazinos. Where did you go? Oh, there you are. Are you coming or what? Are you even interested? That's odd. What are you doing? Are you coming or what? Oh! That's better. Yeah, so there was a couple of Therazinos in the area, so I had a game of tag with them. I dragged them off to the bit further in towards the swamp. I mean, one of them was taken out by a Sarko, I think. The other one is still wandering around because I came back here after getting all my darts, and I had to go out and drag it back out again. Then I found there's an Alpha Carno up there. I think it's taken an interest in that Parasaur, so it's just sitting around doing nothing. There's also a bunch of Troodons which I'm bothered about because I've cleared a few of them out and it's getting late. So I'm going to have to be really, really careful. Trouble is, it's this thing here, it's really top heavy. It's not, it doesn't handle much weight. So it's taken me a while to be able to get backwards and forwards. I mean, I've managed to literally crawl along to get a load of vegetables over here. So I want to use those on the beaver here, and hopefully that should tame up in not too long a time. It would have been better if I had the kibble, but for like a relatively low level beaver, it's not that big of a difference. All it's really going to do is make it quicker if I'd had the kibble, you know, quicker to tame it up. But we'll make do with this, and I'll bring you back once we've got it tamed. So there you go, we've now got our first beaver. So this is Barry the Beaver. I was thinking of calling him like Grey Stripe or something, but no, we'll just go with Barry. Barry's a fitting name for a beaver. He hasn't done too bad. I mean, I used up 50 narcotics to stop him from waking up. And he's gone through quite a few so like veggies. I mean, I think he was getting about 6% per bite. So that's not too bad. I mean, he didn't lose any levels. I think it got down to about 90% taming effectiveness. So as far as I can tell, he didn't lose any. I mean, when I was originally looking, it said he was going to get like 29, I think. So I think he's managed to get all of them. It just took a bit of a while, that's all. So he literally went through the night before he tamed up. And there was a couple of Troodons turned up. Well, there was about 3 of them actually. 2 of them I thought they were actually going to get in the base, and I started dragging them off to where you can see that pink trike over there. 2 of them did follow me, and then I managed to lose them. I came back and there was one that was attacking the trap here. So I pulled that away, or at least I thought I did, but it came back and started attacking the trap. Oh, you're top heavy though, are you? Can't you? But well, eventually I just sort of like settled for. I just had to get rid of it. There was just no option. It was. I think I was quite lucky in that they didn't actually get inside the trap at all. But anyway, I'm going to have to dismantle this this trap. I think I'll probably take all the bits up to where I've got that metal forge going. But I'm going to take Barry the Beaver back to the main base. I think I'll put him on passive actually, because there's going to be some piranhas in here. And I just want to basically take him back to the main base and just see how he does, just so we can run like a basic comparison. I mean, he was a level 60, so he's not particularly high level. I mean, it's 150 map, so he is not exactly wonderful to be honest, but it'll be interesting to see how he compares against that Mastercraft axe, for instance. But the good thing is they've got a reduction in weight for wood, so he'd be able to, you know, chomp the trees down a lot quicker and store a lot of weight better than I could, for instance, or Terry the Trike. But we'll get him back to base. I'll get him a saddle made, and then I'll bring you back. Okay then, so it's time to take Barry the Beaver out. I caught him in the cookie jar, and he's turned an interesting shade of pink, I must say. So we're now just going to head over to these trees and just to see what he's like. I've been leveling up a bit, but I mean, it's kind of difficult to tell. You don't always get the same amount of wood from a tree. But it's like if I get him to do this one. So he does about 148 in one go. So I get my axe out. I got about 37 from that, so try another one. So you got 124. I got 33. Okay, so that's a bit bit suspicious because I normally get a lot more. Tell you what, I'll go first. Okay, so I got 48. You do that one. Oh, there's two of them there. Right, you do that one. 140. Okay. You go first. So you got 148. So I got 117. I mean, it's a bit subjective to be honest, but as I say, I think it depends on how much wood's in an actual tree, but because it always varies. But I think on the I mean, just as a sort of like a baseline, I mean these. Oh, I'm gonna have to get out of here. These things can obviously harvest things a lot better than I can with an axe. I mean, I've got a Mastercraft axe that I got from the Alpha Raptor, but he's still basically harvesting things a lot better than I am, a lot quicker. So it means once you've got a beaver, you can get wood a lot quicker and you get a lot more of it as well in that short space of time. The only thing is that if you're not the one who's like doing the harvesting, then you're missing out on the XP. That's the only downside to it. So I mean, at this stage I'm at level 67, so it's kind of, you know, it's one of those things where XP's more of interest to me at this stage, to be honest, but I'm trying to balance it. I'm trying to get I know it's going to take like a long time to get things like the imprinting kibble that I need to gather and tame all of the different dinos, so it's kind of like a bit of a balancing act, really. I mean, I had to wait until I got to level 62, I think it was, to get... Was it 62 to get the castoroides? Or is that the Argentavis? Yeah, it's 61, so I had to wait until I got to 61 anyway to be able to get a beaver. So... But now I've got one, it'll make my life a heck of a lot easier. I mean, the really good thing as well is that if you look at him, for instance, I mean, I'll just pop that over there. 100 wood on me, like a full stack for me, weighs 50, whereas for him it only weighs 25, so he can carry a lot more as well, which is great. So I'll just put all this away. But I could still do with a like a higher level beaver. I think the idea is to go back down to that area, clear out, you know, whatever's down there. I've already cleared out the level 15 female, and since I've been down, I've actually spotted that level 75 male. That was further up the beach, so it obviously wandered in completely the opposite direction to where I thought it was. So I'm quite tempted to go back down there again, clear out the dams, clear out that other 75, and then hopefully a higher level one will spawn in. The only thing is that if I'm going to get a decent, you know, a really good high level one, I mean, it took quite a while to tame him up on just on vegetables, so I think next time I'd rather do it with the kibble, and for that I'll need the Gallimimus tamed up as well to get their kibble. I'll just take these off you, mate. Just may as well put them in the trough. So in terms of where we're going next, I mean I'm going to keep my eye out for a better pteranodon, for the simple reason I can get backwards and forwards between this base and that metal forge area that I've got over there. I can get over there in one go, you know. It just takes, he can last there on the stamina that he's got. The only drawback is he can't carry much, so I'm going to keep my eye out for a better pteranodon, because I want to go after an Argentavis. Now, the thing with the Argentavis is, for that, if you want to get a decent tame on those, you need it's the stego kibble. Now, fortunately, stego kibble is also part of the imprinting kibble list, so that means I can kind of kill two birds with one stone. So I've got an incentive now to go and get some stegos as well. So what I want to do is that now that I've got Barry the Beaver, I'm gonna add another level to this little base here that I'm keeping the dinos in, so that way I can put all the little ones up on the first floor and keep the pteranodons up on the roof. I mean, I've actually got another pteranodon over there, so I've now got two females plus this male. I'm just going to keep him as the male for the mate boosting. Not too fussed what the high level one is, but I need a high level one specifically because if I go after an Argentavis, I might put a trap down and then find a high level Argentavis is, you know, some distance away than what I originally found it in. So it's going to be a case I'll have to drag it over there, in which case I'll need decent stamina on a Pteranodon. So, apart from expanding this base, I want to extend the walls out, and then that way I can fit enough stegos, you know, outside. I might expand that base itself to be able to fit them inside, because I mean, when it comes to the imprinting kibble dinos, there's no incentive to get higher level ones because it just wastes your time. On the other hand, if I get the low level ones, then it's a case of they're, you know, they're a bit at risk if anything does get in, you know, in between these walls somehow. I mean, I'm quite keen to keep these high level trikes outside because they can take care of the place for me, but I'll have a think about it. I mean, I'm definitely going to expand the wall anyway, because I mean, at some point you're going to have things like the Rexes and the Allos as well. I want to keep those for the end boss fights anyway, so it's worthwhile having those, and they're going to be kept outside anyway. So yeah, so I think what I'm going to do off camera then is I'm just going to expand the wall out, expand the little base that I'm keeping the dinos in, and clear out that little area down there where the beavers were, just to see if any better ones spawn in. I've still got some of the dinos to gather just to complete the sets. So I mean, we've got I think I've got a complete set for the parasaurs. I've got all the trikes that I need. I've got all the dodos that I need. What I do need though, I need another dillo. I need some more raptors. And I need another turtle. So that completes these sets, and then it's a case of we'll start going looking for other dinos that contribute to the imprinting kibble, and I'll do those on video. I mean, there's no point repeating, you know, taming these ones because it's always the same. Once you've tamed one, the process is the same for the rest of them. But me and Barry the Beaver, we're going to be going out and about again now, getting our wood. So I'm going to call it a day there for this video. I do hope you've enjoyed watching it. If so, then do please leave a like, because that will help me out a great deal. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more content, then yeah, do subscribe. Just remember to click the little bell icon though, and then that way you'll get notifications for when new content comes out. And if you've got any comments, any suggestions, any feedback at all that you want to leave, please post that in the comment section below. But until the next video, thanks very much for watching. Bye!